Let's go! Massive offensive power in this one. Hawks win 8-5 over the New Jersey Devils. The Hawks should just go on a 5-day break every time because it seems like when they get like 4 or 5 days off, they win every time and they play really well. But that's not how the NHL schedule works. But they'll take this break, they come back from it, and they dominate offensively. This game also saw the return of Kevin Lankin into the lineup, so no more Hartford Soderblom as the backup. Although if we do need an emergency, he'll be there. I think he can become good. He just needs to put in the work. Kevin Lankinen comes back in the lineup, and we'll get the start in this one. And, well, I guess let's try and talk about the 13 goals of this game. So about 7.5 minutes into the first period, Devils are trying to clear, and a pass to Jack Hughes just doesn't hit. I don't know what it is. I think Jack Hughes missed the puck here, but, because he missed it, it's picked off and taken by Brandon Hagel, who streaks in and scores past Gillies to put the Hawks up 1-0. And that's just bad passing by the Devils. There's really nothing else to explain that. This is just bad passing. So about 2 minutes later, Jack Hughes comes in the zone for the Devils, and he gets tripped up. He actually gets kind of tied up with an official for a little bit. Hawks tried to clear the zone. He couldn't do so. Hughes ends up getting the puck back from a pass, and he just walks in and scores past Lankinen. Nothing too special, just walks right in. Just not a good play. A good play by Jack Hughes, but not necessarily a good play by this defense as they just kind of let Jack Hughes go as they turn their attention to more pressing matters, and they didn't realize while he was getting up and getting ready to put a real big scoring chance on. Moving on to about 1 minute to go in the first period. The Hawks are on the defensive again. Jack Hughes behind the net tries to fire it on Lankinen. It goes wide, and he grabs it behind the net. And he kind of pulls back, just basically turn around and then just shoot it on a lefty, or not lefty, a backhand shot. While this is going on, Galvis decides to give Sharangovich a little shove, letting you know the puck was popping right back up, basically right to the stick of Sharangovich, who just recollects his composure after that slight push and just fires it past Lankin. And I mean, that was just such a weak defensive effort by Galvis, just giving him a little shove. That was the best he could do. The best he could do was just give him a little shove. And then Sharangovich just takes it right there. And he's like, oh, the puck's right here. I'll take that. And whoop! Right past Lankin. And the Devils will go in intermission up 2-1. Early in the second period, the Hawks will go on the power play. And on said power play, when it's halfway gone, and Seth Jones keeps it in the zone after DeBrincat has to kind of get it back out. Jones gives it back to DeBrincat, who then fires the rink-wide pass to Kane. He hangs on to it a little bit, advances right over the shoulder of Gillies, and he ties the game, places that puck in a place only few players can put it, and that's exactly what Patrick Kane is in. He's in that class, those few players that can just put the puck in the net, no matter the tiniest of margins. You give them the tiniest of windows, they'll put it in the net. So about 10 minutes later, I kid you not, pretty much the exact same situation. The Hawks on the power play, and DeBrincat gives it back to Jones. Although this time Jones does not go back to DeBrincat. He's got a little bit more room to work with. He gives it to Kane. And Kane's intention is to pass to either Hagel or Strome to tip it in. And it is tipped in. Kane with the pass in, and it's in. The Hawks take the lead 3-2. But see, the puck actually wasn't tipped by either Hagel or Strome, so they don't even get a point for this play. In between them was a New Jersey defender, and that defender being Severson. And he's the one who tips it into the net. He tipped it into his own net. And when you thought that, and frankly, if you thought the Hawks were like bottom three, absolute garbage, at least they're not hitting into their own net like this. They've had a couple bad, off-a-stick plays, but for the most part, the goals that they're letting up, they're actually letting up, and it's actually being shot by the team that scores, not tipped in to your own net. And then just a few minutes later, the Hawks are on the power play again. And this one is coming to a close, and Kane's on just messing around with the puck, trying to find anything. And he just finds, Brandon Hagel just kind of standing there waiting for the puck. And you know what Brandon Hagel's going to do. He's going to roof it past Gillies. And it's 4-2 Hawks. Brandon Hagel and Patrick Kane both have 2 on the night. And they connect on this play. I mean, Hagel barely had to do anything. All he did was just kind of accept the puck from Patrick Kane. And he placed a perfect shot past Gillies. Really nice play, and they get 3 power play goals in the second. And a little bit later, it's a face-off in the Devils' zone, which is won by New Jersey, and Severson has it behind the net. He fires, and I kid you not, a perfect pass. Threads the needle in between Seth Jones and Eric Gustafsson to Jesper Bratt, and Jesper Bratt scores. And on the breakaway on Lankinen, and to make it 4-3 at the end of the second. Jesper Bratt just sneaks past Jones and Gustafsson, and Severson just puts a perfect pass right to his stick. Could not have placed that pass any better. And Bratt takes that breakaway and scores. Come on, Kevin. That's what I'm looking at here. Yeah, he got the perfect pass, but that was a very skillful play by Severson. Kevin, you got to stop that. That's his biggest weakness, I've noticed. Can't stop breakaways. You get a breakaway on Kevin Lankinen, you put a decent shot on, that's in the net. There wouldn't be any scoring in the third period until about halfway through, when Jonas Siegenthaler would grab a puck on the boards after a missed shot. It would kind of roll around the boards right to his stick, and he just throws it on net, and it goes in. And that is the first goal of the season for Siegenthaler. This was a weak goal. I'm going to be honest. This is a weak goal to let up, especially when leading by 1. Come on, guys. You're better than that. I got nothing else. That's it for that one. And then with about 6 minutes to go in the game, Caleb Jones lifts it to try and clear. Murphy's going to hold off another Devils player, and Kirby Dach picks it up, hits it off the boards, and able to get the puck, and it's a 2-on-1. Dach and Hagel moving in. Dach does not pass the puck. This is a revolution. Kirby Dach did not pass the puck on a 2-on-1. He takes the puck, makes a nice dangle move, wide open net, and he scores! Kirby Dach, oh my goodness. Finally, he was able to try, he's been trying so hard to be like the good teammate that always passes, but he's actually fallen from... That just fell. We're going to go ahead and move on without that. Okay. I'm going to deal with that later. We'll just continue. But Kirby Dach, man, he's been falling victim to the guy that passes too much kind of mentality. Just always passing, being a good teammate. I'm always going to pass the puck. It makes me, it should make me look good. But there are certain situations where you need to shoot the puck and you need to be the guy on the 2-on-1 that ends up not passing and then just taking it to the net and shooting the puck, even if you don't score. And this was the right decision for Dach. He makes a nice move around Gillies to bury it, and it gives the Hawks the lead with about 6 minutes to go in the game. Don't get too comfortable. The Hawks have been blowing these kinds of situations all year long. They can't finish games, but it is the Devils, so maybe they'll actually finish. And see, less than a minute later, another situation exactly like this happens where Mackenzie Entwistle is now on a 2-on-1. And this is a situation where you're going to pass because the defender decides to go for the slide and kind of go for Entwistle. But he hangs on, passes it over to Ryan Carpenter, who has a little bit of trouble corralling the puck as he's kind of skating. He's got his back. It's on his backhand. But he's able to corral it just in time for the rest of the team to show up. And as reinforcements show up, he gets to control the puck, makes one move, and Gillies is already lost. One move, and Gillies is already lost. Boom, right in the net. Ryan Carpenter has his second goal of the season, and that puts the Hawks up 6-4 as the team puts in 2 goals in less than a minute. And you know me, I love fourth line production. Those goals always are super important because your depth players are scoring, and that's very important when you want and talking about just overall team cohesion. You can't have 2-3 guys scoring all the goals. Unfortunately, about a minute after that, Devils would win a face-off in the Hawks zone. Jack Hughes would then kind of just circle around for a while before passing to Severson, who then just finds the lane to a wide-open Jesper Bratt. For his second goal of the game, he buries it past Lankinen, and it was just a nice passing play by the Devils to put him within 1. We now go to under a minute and a half in the game as a pass to Jack Hughes, and Jack Hughes just can't corral this pass. Second time in this game that Jack Hughes' failure to corral a pass leads to a Hawks goal because this is picked off by none other than Patrick Kane. And he's going to skate off literally a tap-in, and it's a hat-trick Kane. Wow. Patrick Kane, his second hat-trick of the season. Oh, man. Patrick Kane comes up huge. 4 points for the night. Patrick Kane had a fantastic game, and when he has a good game, the rest of the team has a good game. That is Patrick Kane's 8th career regular season hat trick. It's honestly weird that's only happened 8 times, because it feels like it's been more. But with under 40 seconds after a failed opportunity for the Devils, it's cleared out. Sam Lafferty passes it up to Brandon Hagel, who then moves in, and, well, he's got 2 goals. And he puts it in empty netter. So Brandon Hagel also grabs a hat trick. And 2 hat tricks in the same game. Patrick Kane and Brandon Hagel both will get hat tricks in this one. How about that? 2 hat tricks in a single game. In my memory, I can't remember a single time where that happened. There probably has been several that I totally am glossing over, but ever since I really started following the Hawks, I have not known about a double hat trick, not only for the Hawks, but for the entire league. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and there are a couple examples of double hat tricks in the past handful of years. Who knows? But the Hawks end up running out the clock and win this game 8-5. For the second time this season. For the second time in a span of 10 games, they win 8-5. The fans got their money's worth and then some with this game. 2 hat tricks, 8 goals by the team as a whole, and a 3-goal win over the New Jersey Devils. In the last game, I literally mentioned the Hawks have been victim to 2 empty net goals several times this season. And in this game, ironically, they're the ones who scored 2 empty netters. And both of those empty netters result in hat tricks. I've said this several times this season, but when this team has a good game, I always am a bit hopeful that this momentum will carry into the next game. It really hasn't. It hasn't. I'm going to be honest. The momentum that I keep thinking that will come from winning a game like this, 8-5, scoring 8 goals, doing well just in general, it never comes. So let's just, again, hope that the momentum this time will actually carry over into the next game. And what a perfect opponent for such an event. It's the St. Louis Blues. For the final time this season, we'll play St. Louis. And, wow, we're hoping that they can pull off a win here. They won the last time they were at home. Hoping we can win again. A season split with St. Louis 2 years after they swept us. I mean, we didn't play them last year at all. I would take that. A season split with St. Louis would be really nice for Chicago. At least when looking to the standings, if they can get this win against St. Louis, I'd be overjoyed. And then they get Edmonton to end the homestand. Please, I beg of you, get these 2 wins. Get these 2 wins. I beg of you. Please. If you can get these 2 wins, I am going to be fine. And then they go on the road to play Philadelphia and then back home again for 2 more games against the Lightning and the Ducks. This is make or break time for this season. If they can't pull off a big streak here, yeah, I don't know. They need to get something quick. Anyways, another long reaction in the books. Hey, don't blame me. Blame the 13 goals that were scored in this game. That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed this one, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it, and it helps the channel grow. Same thing by hitting that bright red subscribe button. It also matches the jersey that I'm wearing, and the flag, and the team colors. So, I'd appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button as well. And, yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.